boss ladies. So I've tried the live on Instagram. It looks like the network is not so great, so I decided let me record a video, and I'm gonna post a video on Insta Live on IG TV or Instagram TV. So we decided we'll just have a chat in the office casually, just to talk about what to expect from the Bio Summit that is coming through next week Saturday on the 23rd from 9 till 2. Short day, and then we obviously, for those who are keen to celebrate their strides and achievements of the year, we'll have a sunset cruise between 4 and 6 o'clock for 2 hours. So you can obviously check those details on the page or on the website bloominsideout.co.za/book-now. So I kind of broke the Insta Live at a time that I was talking about why have we opened up the summit to men this year. So the one important thing that we've realized, and I think through our partnership organization, which is Women Entrepreneurship Day organization globally, is that we, as much as we are pro advancing women, we are not anti-men. And there's a lot that we can learn from men who have been the captains of the industries that we are trying to bring women on board in driving inclusivity and diversity. So we are inviting men on that He for She campaign, United Nations campaign, as well as allies, where men would actually coach, mentor, would recommend women-owned businesses, will nominate them, will refer them, would commend them, as opposed to speaking negatively or disregarding the services that women have to offer in the industries that they are within. And another insight we had is we cannot do any of this advocacy work on our own as business people. We do require the strongest change agents who happen to be the workplace leaders and managers. And that is why we're here asking companies that are not as transformed, companies that have programs to advance women and drive women empowerment and inclusivity, to come on board and really work with us in opening up their industries and meaningfully allow women an opportunity to plug in and really connect with them as suppliers, as service providers, suppliers in their factories. So the way we've gone through this year's theme is connected, right? And I know you were asking me earlier on, Simi, like, so how did you arrive at it? And then for me, it was at a level, at all levels of life, we are connected. There's no man who's an island, and there's no success as an island. We start there. And then just bringing it down to, like we're saying, we are advancing women, but it's not against men and it's not anti-men. We can only thrive and drive sustainable growth when we co-lead and co-create, we co-strategize and really create the solutions together, men and women working together. And at the same time, we're saying industries need to connect with women in who have different services to offer. They need to also leverage the connectivity of technology. And we are all speaking every day in every conference, how do we make our industries smarter with fourth industrial revolution? So the industries are looked at, they are interconnected as well. So what we mine, we use as ingredients and components in manufacturing. What we manufacture goes into retail space. From retail to even scale up those manufacturing plants or bring up new manufacturing plants to curb unemployment, you need investment, which is why our president's focus is solely to bring new investments to about 1.2 trillion rands, he said, within 5 years, to create new jobs, to really sustain our economy, infrastructure development, and bring in more industry manufacturing in the country. One of the things that the statements that is repeatedly mentioned by our MECs is that we consume what we don't manufacture, and we manufacture what we don't consume. And how do we change that? And we want to get women into not just small manufacturing, main manufacturing. Black industrialists, the campaign by government was not just targeted in a certain group, but if you look at it, There's no women that are black industrialists. Why is that? And this is why we've invited the first black mine inspector to come speak to us about what opportunities are there in mining. Because as women, speaking for myself, I never considered mining as an environment and a space where I can actually do business with. Never sent my portfolio of services that I offer to a mine until a friend of mine was in a mining chamber. And because we were talking about what is happening in the mining space, it just came up that actually there are opportunities, and now we have digital services we can offer some of the mines, because there's going to be smart mining, there's smart manufacturing. That said, and then I visited the mine for the first time ever in my life with my colleague last week in Richards Bay. It was exciting. But to find out and hear from them that 80% of what they're mining, they're sending out of the country. It's going on export. And then it comes back into the country as goods that we are consuming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so this is it. How do we make sure we take a certain chunk of what is being mined in our own land and we become manufacturers of what we need? And then if you are in manufacturing and you're in the mass like manufacturing as a black industrialist or any kind of industrialist, any race group, how do we then access the market? You know, there needs to, so retail, yes, it's at a level where I'm going to buy the toothpaste that is manufactured somewhere at a Pick n Pay or Spar. But the reality is that I don't have access to even list any of the products that are micro manufacturing in Shoprite, Pick n Pay or Spar, because it's not just straightforward. You need to know what is it that you need to do in terms of ISO quality standards to list your product into the retail space. But that said, again, why can't I own a Spar or a Pick n Pay? Just as much as there's so many women that owns hair salons, why can't there be women who own Spars and Pick n Pay and Shoprites? So this is the kind of summit where it's advocacy work, where we are shifting women. In fact, just like putting in like a bit of vuma and fuel into the engine to get these wheels turning and get women in industries and economic spaces that are core, not sidelines, not micro players. We want to be the main players. And then Cyril speaks about the inter-Africa or intercontinent Africa trade, which opens up the trade across Africa. So if women are not in manufacturing, who are we opening up the market and the trade for? It's still going to remain that the leaders and the captains of the industry or economy are males. We need to get in. Hence, we've invited Manufacturing Circle South Africa to come on board and really speak to us about what do we look out for? How do we get in? What do we need? How do we ensure that we set up those small factories we are setting up? And how do we scale them? Scaling our factories requires money. So we invited investment fund like Ellen Gray to come and speak to us about building. Whatever we make in our bottom line in our businesses, we can invest to make sure we have a good investment capital to put into each other's businesses. How do we organize ourselves, even in Stokvel's group, to make sure we are investors in other women's businesses as opposed to Stokvel for groceries at the end of the month, you know what I mean? Or investments for infrastructure, building schools, building community homes and halls, and really changing our communities for what we desire when we say a brighter future and a brighter South Africa while we are creating employment. And then lastly, it's about how do we ensure that we are leveraging the technology across all these sectors to ensure that we're playing in the smart industries that are going to be opening up with the fourth industrial revolution, skills that women need, connectivity, what does it mean, and where do we get in where originally or historically you need to be a metallurgist or an engineer. You could come in as a data analyst into a mine and be the one that actually help them maintain the mine, the resources in the mine, and ensuring that there's a sustainability in the way we are mining. There is maintenance that is mapped up well to ensure that they don't shut down or they don't just suddenly die out and shut down and then we lose those jobs. So it's an exciting program. Don't miss out in connecting to these industries. And it is in everyday communicating, getting the knowledge that is powerful to help us as women to really be core players in our economic drive for growth, sustainability, and ensuring that there's representation and inclusivity for not us only, for generations to come. So I hope you will join us. And yes, the biggest change agents are the employees, the managers, the leaders, the executives in public and private sectors, where you have the resources to amplify the voice that says, we want to get in. Show us how to connect with your industries. We want to be part of the future solutions, the future smart industries. Let's talk about how do we get more women in those platforms. I'm very excited about it, and I hope that you will come on board. Just sign up on our website. It's bloominsideout.co.za/book-now, and you can click on it on Instagram, on Twitter. You can click on it at Knox Bloom, at Bloom Inside Out handle. You can also visit our page on Facebook or call us on 082 60 40 856. I sound like I'm on radio and this is an ad, and this is it. It's a wrap for the week, and we will try and unpack a lot more of what will happen. There's Choose Women campaign that I still have to talk to you about. There's a celebration of all our successes for the year, for those who started something new, for those who took their businesses to the next level. For the achievements, we're going to do a cruise post the summit, which is from 4 to 6. And we have a few certificates to give to women who are making moves, shaking, moving things around, and going forward and upward in their industries. Some of them will be in absentia, but we have to celebrate each other where we see women making those changes and moves we want to see. So we have those certificates to give out as well. I look forward to connect with you next week, Saturday, Waterfront Hotel in Durban. And we will be streaming as well for those who are far away from Durban. But you're in Durban, you have no reason not to come and connect. Get connected. It's a better way to bloom. And it's a better way to start a new decade. Here's to accelerating 2020 and blooming bigger, brighter, bolder, and braver. Take care, ladies.